AITA for making my wife pay me for something she gave away. My wife has a bad habit of giving away or lending out things that don't belong to her. I've lost count of how many times I go to look for something of mine only for her to say she lent it to somebody. She also takes forever to get the item back. She once lent my stuff to a coworker and refused to ask for it back for a month. And I'll never forget the day my usually quiet, reserved son snapped at her for trying to give away his Nintendo Switch. If I wasn't also fed up with her behavior, I would have washed his mouth out with soap. I've had countless talks with her, but she continues to do this. My son and I have resorted to locking up anything we didn't want touched, which is something we shouldn't have to do in our own home. Last week I won a $300 tent in a raffle. I had no plans on using it, so I was selling it. When I found a buyer and went to look for it, I couldn't find it. When I asked my wife, she said she gave it to a friend of ours. I got mad at her and said she had no right to give it away. Her defense was, since I didn't spend money on it and was I planning on using it, it made sense to give it away for free. I told her that wasn't her decision to make, but she just kept repeating herself. I had enough of this and said she's either going to pay me herself or get the money from who she gave it to. And if she didn't, I'd get law enforcement involved. Since she rather die than ask a friend for money, she paid me out of her own pocket. This issue eventually got around to her family. While they did say she should have talked to me first, they also reprimanded me for asking for payment. They reasoned that since I didn't actually buy the tent, I didn't lose any money and it went to a friend who could actually put it to good use. I got several texts saying I should be ashamed for extorting my wife for money. I think I have every right to want to be paid for something of mine that was taken, but everyone keeps emphasizing the fact that I didn't technically buy the tent and didn't want it, so I have nothing to be upset about. AITA? Honestly, it sounds as if your wife has an issue she needs to see a professional about. Giving away your family property, not looking after to get it back, caring more about what her colleagues and friends think than how she makes her family feel. This is sort of a worrying thing. She doesn't prioritize you and your son. She sounds as if she has problem with definition of personal property. NTA, does your wife give away any of her own things? Or just everyone else's? NTA, she absolutely shouldn't have done that. What it sounds like is your family and friends don't understand the magnitude of the situation. Of course they think it's absurd because they don't know that she does this all the time. You're just finally fed up with and put your foot down. Honestly, sounds like you should have done that a while ago. How would she feel if her stuff just went missing? Tell her she stops, and if she doesn't, I would give her a taste of her own medicine. I would take things of hers and just give them away. Even if I just pretended I did, just to prove a point. Sounds petty, I know, but she clearly isn't getting it any other way. NTA 1. It's ridiculous that a boundary even needed to be set in the first place. It's basic human decency not to give away stuff that isn't yours. 2. It doesn't matter what it cost if it doesn't 100% belong to her. Then she has no right to unilaterally decide what happens to it. That is hugely disrespectful in any partnership or human interaction. She wouldn't be happy if you gave away a seldom used piece of her jewelry on the basis that it was gifted to her and therefore costed her nothing. Her generosity should not come at her Lovedoni's expense. NTA. As several other Redditors have commented, her behavior stems from some sort of insecurity and need to please. So unless she talks to a professional, she will continue to view you as an rather than see her behavior as problematic. So while I don't blame you for getting bad and asking her for reimbursement, maybe you should also set up an appointment with a therapist, otherwise this will take a toll on your marriage. NTA. She's stealing other people's items and shows no remorse or intention to change her behavior. If her relatives are so concerned, perhaps they should donate some funds to the cause. It's easy for them to reason on her behalf when it's not their stuff. Go to the friend and explain that your wife had no right to give it away, and you'd like your tent back. Please. Hopefully the social embarrassment will deter her from further generosity with other people's possessions. NTA. This is extremely problematic behavior. You can't just give away other people's things. That just seems like common sense to me. NTA. One of the most disgusting things you can do to people you supposedly love is to be generous with their resources. Whether they are lending you out to shovel snow at the neighbors, taking your money or your possessions and giving them to others. There may be rare cases where they do it out of the kindness of their heart, but most of the time they just want to appear to be heroes to their friends, co-workers, or whoever they are bestowing your stuff on. Let them pay or be reported to the authorities till they have learned the difference between mine and yours. You know why other people keep saying that? It's because it's not their stuff. You acting reasonably. So NTA. But I couldn't be in a relationship like that, living with someone like that. You two need to seriously talk about this. NTA. But your wife needs therapy. This is sincerely unhealthy. Look up compulsive generosity and see if some of the articles ring any bells. This behavior has a number of different root causes and your whole family deserves to be freed from this. I would suggest 1 or 2 sessions as a couple, perhaps one with your son included, depending on his age and the therapist's recommendation, to establish the extent of the issue, and then she needs to dig in and do the work in individual sessions. This sounds like a personality disorder, mental illness. It is irrational. If making her pay does not change her behavior, then she needs professional help. NTA. NTA. This is absolutely obnoxious behavior. I would be so mad. Honestly. If my so did something like that to me more than once, especially after I made it explicitly clear how much they messed up, I don't think our relationship could survive. I think you have every right, absolutely. NTA. However, technically, you should tell her, if you ever give away something of mine again without my permission, it's stealing, and I'll demand the money back for it. Just a heads up so she knows what's coming and there can't be any surprise at your actions. I'd also like to know how she'd feel, and her family at that, if you started doing the same. Any gifts you've given her that technically she didn't pay for should be yours to start doing what you'd want with it. Books she's finished reading, jewelry she doesn't wear often, maybe skis, a bicycle. Wonder how long it would take her to get the point. She sounds like a kleptomaniac Robin Hood. Run away. INTA. NTA. The tent is as much hers as her jewelry is yours. She needs professional help. She's like a reverse hoarder. Tell the people texting you that your wife can go live with them and she can give away their stuff. NTA. She needs counseling. Start giving away her stuff. NTA. Your wife has no business giving away your stuff and your son's stuff without your permission. What the neck ails her? Does she just love being the hero to other people, at your expense? Or does she hate clutter or what? In any rate, she is being extremely controlling. To the people telling you that you're wrong to make her pay for your stuff she gave away, tell them this is absolutely none of their business, but between you and your wife only. By all means, charge her. So far, her giving away your stuff hasn't hurt her one bit and she doesn't care that she's upset you. Info. Are you rich? Is she? Do you have separate finances?
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. AmITheAsshole is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.